Looks like we are live. Channel 7 reporting live. Okay, let me find where I'm at. Here we are. Mute. Right. Wait for some people to come in. And where are we at here? We got one person already in here. Alright. What's up? Kickstream, how's it going, man? How you doing? Hey, can you hear me okay? I know I got my camera pointed at my plant right now, but I'm not sure if you guys can hear me. Let's see here.
Yes, I can.
Okay. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. Awesome. Cool. I got a cool little topic this evening, guys. We're going to talk about how to read your cannabis plant and what it tells you. Just going to learn a little bit about the plant. My name is Ruderalis Rex, so welcome. Thanks for coming in. Whoever's in the chat right now, we got Kickstream. I don't know whoever else is in here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for showing up this evening. All right, yeah. So we're gonna be our cannabis plant is constantly communicating with us. You know, every leaf, every growth pattern is giving us information. Every color change, every droop. Stuff it's telling you, and it's telling you stuff, and we're gonna today we're gonna learn a little bit about what it's telling you, what your plant wants and what it needs. So everyone that's looking right now at the plant right now, this is Moby Dick Auto. This is an auto flower I'm growing at DWC, deep water culture. She is day 14 in flower right now, so she just turned to flower. Yeah, she's and I picked how to read a cannabis plant. I wanted to do this topic, guys, because I have a few deficiencies going on with her right now as we speak that we're going to cover. I wanted to show you guys what the leaves look like, and just show you what the problem was and what it can be. We can go through the diagnosis together, guys, and we'll and chat, live chat. You guys can let me know what you guys think the problem is, and I'll see if you guys are getting pretty close to it. And all that. Hey, what's up, Green Oracle? How's it going? Thanks for showing up. All right, good to have you guys. We'll be doing if I get a good amount of people in here, we'll do a giveaway, guys. All right, we'll be doing a giveaway. I got a Ruderalis Rex pack and a rolling tray, a rolling tin with the lid, a magnetic lid. So that's yeah, pretty cool. Pretty good stuff. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Oracle. Yeah, the Green Oracle. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. She does have a few deficiencies going on right now that I've been battling since day one. Um, that we're going to cover. I'm going to cover tonight, and I'm going to cut a few leaves off, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. Mikey Nug, hey, how's it going? The way you're growing, you know what, Mikey, you're on the money on that one. Definitely is magnesium. I do have some magnesium issues in there, and while running DWC, I'm feeding her mildly right now, and she's showing burnt tips, like nutrient burns, like if I fed her too much. But my EC, my ppms, they're right where they should be, and she shouldn't be showing any of those deficiencies, which leads me to believe it's probably most likely pH fluctuations. You'll get pH fluctuations when you run DWCs. You'll get them pretty quick, and then that can mimic nutrient burn deficiencies in plants, You'll get the burnt tips and whatnot. Um, yeah, yeah, guys. The goal tonight is to become just a plant detective and diagnose issues before they become major problems. We don't want our plant to get out of hand to where we don't know what the hell's going on, or we diagnosed it too quick, and then we feed it something that potentially will even harm it more. So it's always important that if you see your plant is getting sick, or you see spots, or you see a leaf on there that's doing some crazy shit, it's always important to diagnose your whole plant. So just go through your whole plant and look at it from top to bottom. Um, that'll most likely help you in diagnosing your plant. So all right, so let me take a little drink of coffee here real quick, guys. All right. Yo, what's up, Kickstream? All right, you guys are typing in the Rex. Okay, okay. All right, so let's do this. All right, all right, let me just read this real quick. A quick disclaimer before we start the giveaway here, before we do the giveaway. I just want to read this disclaimer here. This giveaway is for yeah, you got to be 21 and older, guys. Please follow your local laws and void where prohibited. And YouTube is not any way affiliated with this giveaway. I just want to mention that out right away. And the giveaway will have it's a Ruderalis Rex pack, and that comes with it comes with a wristband, a lighter holder. It comes with some stickers, a Ruderalis Rex sticker, and then it comes with 6 magic beans. If you guys know what I'm talking about, it comes with 6 magic beans. They are regular. Colombian land strain, land race, I believe land race. I believe that's what they are. And then I have a rolling tin. So we'll have, yeah, that'll be a part in the giveaway. We'll do that. And I don't have on my giveaway, guys. So when we do it, I'll have to draw from a hat. Just because I don't have the program on here on my laptop right now, or my phone to do to pick a random person to do the giveaway. So the next best thing is I'll assign a number to each and every one of you, and I'll put it in a hat, and then do I have an online shop? Not yet. I do have a website. If you go to www.ruderalisrex.com, I do have a website. I am gonna have some merchandise pretty soon. You guys can check out what's gonna be coming, what I have coming soon. And it's coming soon, guys. I will have it coming soon. But yes, I definitely will have some merch, some beanies, some hoodies, some grinders, some garden tools, stuff like that. Yeah, yeah. Oh, and as for the giveaway, back to the giveaway, guys. So when it's time, I'll do the random. I'll pick from a hat. So I'll sign each and every one of you guys a number, and then I'll pick from a hat, and then we'll go from there, and we'll see who wins. Yep, and definitely, and whoever wins, I'll put my email address in the chat right now in a little bit, so you guys have it, and then you can just hit me up after the live stream, and I'll get your mailing address from you guys, and we'll go from there, and I'll send it out to you guys. All right. All right, cool. So let's get started here. All right, so before looking at individual leaves, we're going to step back and observe the entire plant. Is it upright and praying? And now, and sometimes, guys, praying plants, usually if the leaf looks good to you and they're praying and they're up towards the light, that means their photosynthesis is on point. It's doing pretty damn good. Now, if you have issues and you see, you got some problems with your leaves, or you got, some problems with your stems or nodes area and stuff like that, and they're still upright, they could be stressed out. So not all the time are praying leaves going to be a good thing. Now, but if your plant looks good and looks healthy and she's praying upright, I mean, then she's doing great, and you're doing a good job. So if your plant's doing that, then keep it up. You're doing a great job. Now, if you could see mine right here, they're praying a little bit up here, but watch, I'm going to go ahead and go ahead and cut one of these leaves off for you guys real quick here and show you, just show you what I'm working with here. Let me see here. All right. Okay. All right, guys. So if you could see this, it's a spots. So it's showing like magnesium spots. You know, I got rust spots. Sorry, I'm a little shaky, guys. I'm having a bunch of coffee here. So I'm trying to hold it up. And then if you could see the tips too, the tips showing like newt burns and stuff like that. Um, yeah. So yeah, so you know when you have you know when you got plants that look leaves that look like that, that'll the rust spots will show you, yep, you're having a CalMag deficiency, or it could be iron too. You know, iron plays a big role in that as well. So you know, definitely look through your whole plant and make sure that you know if your new growth is coming in like that, well then obviously you have a CalMag issue and we need to do something about it. Now if it's the old growth um, that's there, then you might have gotten it and the new growth is coming in fine, then it looks like you might have gotten it, but just beware of the new growth that comes in. That will tell you whether it's you still have CalMag, if the plant's getting CalMag or not. um, uh, yeah. Yeah. So let's see. What else? Let's see. You know, if it's drooping, is the growth vigorous? You know, if your plant's growing, it's growing vigorous. You're doing a great job. Um, you know, I got something here that says, you know, are branches symmetrical? Not. Yeah, I mean, not all of them. You know, not everything is. You know, healthy plants generally appear energetic. They Yeah, I don't. Maybe that might not be the right word, energetic, because it's hard to see something like that. More. Let's see. What word would I use? Yeah, I'm not really sure, but on that one. But you know, healthy plants generally appear healthy. They just appear healthy. You can look at a plant and be like, "Wow, that plant looks like it's thriving." Um, and then you can look at mine right now, and mine looks a little rough. And that's because I've had some issues with it since day one. This is my first time growing in DWC, doing a deep water culture. So I knew for sure I was gonna run into some stuff, and I definitely wanted to film every day of this, just so I can put it out on YouTube and show people, hey, you know, for one, not everybody's a perfect grower, you know, and two, you know, when I have deficiencies and stuff like this, I want to be able to show it to you guys and be able to diagnose it and correct the plant, but show you guys, you know, so you guys, if that way anything ever happens to you guys like this, you guys will have a better understanding on what to do. You know, first steps, you know, diagnosing your plant, going top to bottom and making sure you're looking everywhere, looking, you know, inspecting the leaves, making sure that, you know, the deficiencies aren't coming from a pest problem, you know, aphids, spider mites, stuff like that. Um, yeah. Um, let's see here. You know, leaf colors, you know, is often the first sign of trouble. Like, so if you can look at my canopy right now, Zai, so if you can see towards the middle of it, it's got, you know, we're kind of greenish, a dark greenish. And then as we go to the top of my canopy, you see how lime green that is. Yeah, that's because I was slightly underfeeding her in my deep water culture. So I bumped up her food, and EC and ppms. I bumped those up to a more mild. I didn't want to do it heavy, just because she was already going through a bunch of shit right now, and I just wanted to, you know, try to make sure that I get some at least good bud structure from her, without stressing her out too much, because she is having a CalMag deficiency, and she's had it since day one. Man, yeah, since day one I've just been going crazy trying to fix it. And what happened is I was using a 3-year-old bottle of CalMag, so it was just weak. That CalMag I was using, and it was weak, so it wasn't getting any CalMag. Well, then I finally bought a new one, and it looks like the new growth coming in doesn't have any spots or newt burns. So so far it looks like the new growth coming in, that I have it in check. But as you could tell on the top of the canopy, man, it looks pretty rough. You know, she looks rough. She definitely needs some TLC. Um, which I've been trying to baby her because I'm in a 2x2 right here, guys. This is a 2x2 tent that I'm growing in, so I can only fit just this one in there. Um, so just one plant that I'm growing, and then I have my Spider Farmer SF 1000. It's a 100-watt light that I'm using. Um, yeah, and so I'm still trying to get my, trying to get some terps growing on her, some trichomes, get her to grow some trichomes without stressing her out too much. So yeah, so the new growth coming in is seems to be doing okay, but yeah, that old shit on top, I need to go through and start taking that off. Which is another interesting thing, guys. I didn't know if you guys knew this or not, but when you have a damaged leaf, I tend to leave it on until it's so damaged to where it's about to fall off. And the reason why is because if I take off all the damaged leaves right away, well, the deficiencies will start attacking my new growth. And I definitely don't want that. So if they're already attacking the leaves that are already messed up, then I'd rather them just deplete the leaves that are already on there. Does that make sense, guys? I mean, I'd rather them just, if that leaf is already messed up, I'd rather it suck it dry, until it falls off, than go after my new growth. And then that'll give me time to diagnose the plant and give it what it needs. Um, and, and, and yeah, and then fix the issue, fix the problem. Um, yeah. So, like I said, leaf color is often leaf color is often first sign of trouble, guys. Deficiencies will often, you'll see it in the leaves before you would in like the stems, or when your stems turn purple. And that's another thing too, because some stems do turn purple because of genetics. So let me just throw that out there. It's not always that you stressed out your plant and it's throughout, purple stems and stuff like that. Well, in my case, for this one here, I definitely stressed her out. She does have some purple stems, and that's, that was my bad, and that's because she's been having those deficiencies. But this is a whole new ball game for me though, guys. DWC, but I absolutely love it. It's been an awesome challenge. I think I'm gonna do another run after this one here. I'm gonna do another DWC run, just because I enjoy it so bad. It's I enjoy it a lot. The growth is crazy fast, guys. I mean, especially for an auto. This thing in 30 days was wicked bushy and tall, and I was just really amazed. And the size of the stalk, I'll show you guys here in a little bit, but the size of the stalk, is almost a lighter and a half, like a thick lighter and another lighter, like almost two lighters. That's how thick the base is on this. So DWC is definitely been challenging, but worth it. I mean, it's been worth it. I've got some pretty big nugs on there so far, and they've just started. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy with it. Now I can only imagine if I've gone spot on. So yeah, so Kickstream, the way I usually grow is in soil. And sometimes I would do organic living soil, or just just some straight soil, and maybe feed it some synthetics and stuff like that, depending on what I have. But mostly soil. Yeah, never done hydroponics. Never done hydroponics. This is my first time doing it. I did a bunch of research before jumping into it, which was cool. I learned quite a bit and stuff about ppms, parts per millions, and your electric conductivity, your ECs and stuff like that. And then you got your VPDs, your vapor pressure deficits. You got all that stuff that you need to learn, and when it comes to DWC. So I learned all that. But yeah, not to get off of the subject there, but yeah, I grow soil, a lot of soil. I did it. I wouldn't say I'm not a pro at it, but I got too comfortable where it wasn't a challenge, growing it. It was just, I did the same thing and always had the same results. I grew some good weed, but I got tired, I'm tired of just growing good weed. I want to grow some great weed. And this is where DWC comes in, because not only do you have the faster growth, and which will entail more yield. But I know not necessarily everything has to do with yield, but with me, since I'm growing in a 2x2, I definitely want more bang for my buck. You know, I want to make it worth it. If I'm going to grow in a 2x2, I want at least 4 to 5 ounces coming off of that plant. So that's what usually what I aim for. If I get more, then score. Awesome. Less, it's a bummer. It happens. Sometimes it happens. In growing, and you just get some bad genetics sometimes, and you probably think it's you, the way you're growing, and you're beating yourself up and stuff like that, and a lot of the times it's genetics. So, yeah. So, let's see here. Yeah, dry soil. Yep, bit of ash, some blood and bone. Yeah, that would be cool, Kickstream. If you did it, if you do it with a photo, send me some pictures. Keep track of that grow and let me know how all that turns out in DWC. I definitely recommend you growing in DWC. I definitely recommend it. It's just it's crazy fast. I mean, the growth is just it's crazy fast, and I'm pretty sure it would do the same thing with the photo. Now, not as fast as an auto, but you'll get crazy growth. I'm most positive with a photo, running a photo in there. Yeah, hey, curious, Kickstream, what strain would you run in DWC if you can grow right now in a deep water culture? What strain would you grow in it? Curious. Sorry, took a drink of coffee there, guys. Here, I'm gonna take a quick little toke here. Oh shit. That was a big one. All right. I do have a tent, but I haven't set up for a long time. Hey, that's cool. Oh yeah. Hey, don't trip out on Streamlabs. You can type as long as message as you want. That's cool. I don't know why Streamlabs keeps butting in like that. I gotta figure. I'm not really tech savvy, so I gotta figure this shit out one day. Um, but yeah, I got a homie that's an outdoor grower too, and I've never grown outdoors. I don't know the first thing about growing outdoors. But I've done indoors. I've done indoors and soil and autos. That's usually my thing. Now, I don't get me wrong. I've grown photos too, photo periods, and I do like photo periods. But I really love auto flowers because of the challenge. Because they're so finicky. You have to, you got to keep them in the Goldilocks zone. Um, and throughout their whole entire life, which is a challenge. That's super hard to do. Um, and if you got your environment dialed in 100%, that's amazing. Um, all year round, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. In Australia, that's what's up. Heck yeah. All right. So you can grow. So it doesn't snow where you're at then. You don't get any snow. Kickstream. Um, Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, photos for sure. Like if I had the right setup, I would definitely run some photos. But right now my living situation where I'm at, I don't have much room. So I'm only rocking, this little corner inside my bedroom here. Um, yeah, that my 2x2. So that's I'm gonna upgrade to a 2x4 so I can at least do two plants. I can get a two plant in there, and do that. I plan on upgrading and getting two plants because one is not enough. I want I'm all down for growing one, but I definitely want to grow more at one time. I think that'd be a great challenge too to keep up with different plants and stuff like that. Uh, yeah, just trying to keep them in that Goldilocks zone. Yep. All right, that's cool. So, all right, Kick Street. So no snow. All right, that's crazy. That's cool. Heck yeah, so you can grow all year round, man. That's what's up. Heck yeah. Yeah, but you're in Australia, man. You got some crazy insects though and shit out there, I hear. You know, your bugs are like massive. Everything's massive out there. You know, but it's I would love to go to Australia though. That would be cool. That would be definitely on one of my bucket lists. Definitely go out to Australia. Heck yeah. All right. Wow. Really? That's amazing, Kickstream. Wow. That weather, you had some pretty good decent weather out there. That's not bad at all. Yeah, heck yeah. All right, yeah. So again, so leaf color is often the first sign of trouble. So yep, deep dark can indicate excess nitrogen. So if you're showing a really deep green, guys, then that's probably back off the nitrogen. You're feeding them, a bit too much. Oh, okay, cool. Oh wow, that's amazing. That's winter weather too, huh? Okay. All right, and the bugs aren't bad either. Okay. All right, cool. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, I must be just seeing crazy those videos I see on Crazy Life from Australia and stuff. Sometimes on those YouTube shorts and stuff, they just show a bunch of crazy ass insects and shit like that and stuff, which is cool. I'm just like, whoa. Sometimes I trip out on how big things can get, and how that puts things in perspective sometimes. Yeah. All right, back to yeah. So yeah, nitrogen. So yeah, nitrogen is what your plant needs. Well, it needs it's you yeah it needs so nitrogen comes from all living things that end up oh well, there's a better way to explain it because that would be more organics. So let me explain it this way. So nitrogen, yeah, your plant would need nitrogen in the beginning when it's a baby, but not as soon as it's born. I would say, there's enough food inside your seed, your cannabis seed, when it germinates and it pops out of the soil. There's enough food in that seed that it eats off of for about a good week and a half. So I'd give it about a good 2 weeks. So 2 weeks after from germination, then I would start feeding. And when I start feeding it, I would feed it lightly. And nitrogen is what you would want to feed it. Um, that's what makes your plant grow. It gives it its growth. It makes it grow tall, bushy, stuff like that. That's what nitrogen will do, and amongst other things. But that's a whole rabbit hole to get down, going into each one of those, like nitrogen, and your NPKs and stuff like that. But yeah, so you want nitrogen in the beginning. You want nitrogen during veg. But when you flower, you still need a little bit of nitrogen, but you want to back off of it quite a bit. And that's because, it could come in a nutrient form, so it depends on what you buy. So I use General Hydroponics. It's called Flora Series, Flora, Flora Series, and it's from General Hydroponics. And I use their three-part series and synthetic nutrients. But I use that, and that has nitrogen in it, and when you use all three of those, it's got nitrogen and it's got other stuff. It's got, sulfur, a little bit of sulfur, phosphorus, let's see, what is it? Let me read it off right here real quick here. Yeah, it's got yeah, magnesium sulfate, phosphoric acid, potassium carbonate. It's got and the three series, the three bottles that come with it, the micro, the grow, and the bloom, will take you all the way from the beginning all the way to the end. Um, and yeah, and it can come in a bag, but it's going to be in nutrients, so it's not going to be just nitrogen. It won't say nitrogen on the bag or the box. It'll have the nutrient name. So I mean, you can have like Dr. Earth that has nutrients if that's organics. If you want some organics, You've got, you got Miracle Grow, even Miracle Grow. I don't recommend Miracle Grow, just stay away from that. But as just as an example, Miracle Grow has nitrogen in it. Let's see what else. You've got Fox Farms. You got Fox Farms Trio. That has, that's got nitrogen in it, and in the bottles and stuff like that. And then you can do organics. Gaia Green. Gaia Green has organics, um, that it's a powder form that you can top mix in your soil, just rub it in the top of your soil and then water it in. Gaia Green is great. They have great organics, and they can take a plant from beginning to end with no problem, and come out great too. I mean, I've seen Gaia Green grow some, and the soil depends on what soil you use too. Everything plays a factor. You got genetics that play a factor. You got your soil. It depends on how you grow, what stress techniques you're using. So with me, with autos, I like using bud clips. I use bud clips. It's just clips that I can bend the branches over, and I'll do that during veg. So, as soon as she's old enough, and it depends. And when it's about like 3 or 4 nodes high, that's when I'll start training my autoflowers. I try to train them when they're young, and that tends to beef them out pretty good. I get them pretty bushy. Um, yeah, yeah. So I'll do some bud clips to train, and then leaf tuck, because autos don't like you to cut off a lot of their leaves, so I won't defoliate a lot. That's why it's super bushy right now. I will defoliate. I will go in there and cut off some that are in the way, that are blocking other nodes, that are blocking other bud sites, stuff like that, just so light can penetrate down into the canopy, and I can get more buds, which is the point. That's what we want. We want those fat, juicy buds. Um, yeah. Let's see here. So so if you see your plant, now how mine turned lime green, it's almost even yellowing. It's almost starting to yellow. Yellowing from the bottom of the leaf usually points towards mobile nutrient issues. That means your plant's having a hard time with mobile nutrients getting it to where it needs to go. And then usually what an indicator of that would be like, wait, what is that? Is that like LST technically? Yes, it is low stress training. Yep, that's correct, Kickstream. It's low stress training with the clips, and they love it. They absolutely love it. I don't top at all my autos. I've never topped, and let's see, and I've only used just my bud clips, and out of that I've gotten, let's see here. Let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Well, just 19 that I can see right now is I have 19 colas that are going to be just buds. 19 just made, big ass buds, that are on there. And that's just from training them, just from bending over. Yeah, just a little LST and leaf tucking. That is it. And then occasional defoliation. I will take some leaves off, just because you gotta give her a haircut. Um, yeah, yeah. That's just on this here. Let's see if I can raise it up a little more, and then you can see in there. I don't know if you can see, but there's a bunch of tops up there, yeah, that are going to become some pretty big buds. Um, well, that's the plan. I hope they're going to be some pretty big buds. I'm going to keep working on them and making sure I carry her to the end. Yes, you are correct. Trimming is very beneficial, especially for aeration, for the air going through. Because if you don't, you're gonna have a lot of humidity pockets, which will ruin it. Like one day you'll be fine, and then the next day you'll go open up your tent, and all of a sudden there's powdery mildew everywhere, and it's all because you left your plant too bushy, and it got too humid in there. It sucks. It happens. It happens. It sucks. I have yet to have that happen to me yet. Let me knock on some wood real quick here, um, but I do go in there and I will defoliate, and get some leaves out of there, open up that middle part, and it's definitely helps for aeration, for the fans and stuff like that. Um, yeah, Yep, definitely. Yep, I agree. You have to have fans are a must when growing. Hey, what's up, Cal? How's it going? Hey, thanks, man. Yeah. Sorry, I was taking a drink of coffee there, guys. If I ever go quiet, that means I'm drinking something real quick, or I'm taking a toke. Either one. I'll try to let you guys know though before I do that. All right, let's see. Hey guys in live chat. Let's see. Hey, have you guys ever seen yellow leaves and immediately assumed it needed more nutrients? Has that ever happened to you guys, where you guys saw some like yellowing in your leaves? You're like, oh shit, like, oh crap, she needs to eat. I need to do something. Um, yeah, let me know if that's ever happened to you guys, or in the beginning. I know when I was beginning growing, definitely I was like, oh shit, she's yellowing. I think she needs food. I think she needs more water. And there's the water, always watering like crazy, doing the overwater bit. I learned. Took me quite a while, but you get better as you keep growing, guys. Every year you just get better and better. You get I love challenges, guys, so I will do the next best thing. So right now I'm gonna stick with this DWC, especially because this is my first time doing it. And I don't think I did too bad of a job with her, even though she does have some deficiencies, so she's not perfect. Um, yeah, I messed up with her along the way. Tried to keep her, but now I think I get the hang of this now in DWC. So this next run, I think this next DWC run, I think I might do Mendo Frost from Fast Buds. It's another auto. That's supposed to be a real good banger. I hear. So, and I've got two of those. So I'm wondering about doing one of those next. But anyway, like I was saying, like I love a challenge, guys. I challenged myself with soil, and I got comfortable. I got used to soil. Soil became easy. Uh, you know. Um, oh yes, definitely. I've seen aeroponics. That will be next. That will be next. So I figure I'm gonna do DWC for a couple of years, maybe a year or two, and then after that, while I'm doing DWC, I'm gonna do a lot of research on aeroponics, and then I'm gonna jump into that. I would like to do that and challenge myself and learn how to do aeroponics, because that is definitely interesting. I find that super interesting, and I guess it's supposed to grow even more faster and crazier than it would in DWC, which is mind-boggling to me, just because I've never seen a plant. I mean, autos are already quick growing anyway. Um, they're pretty fast growers, and put it in a DWC, and it's like whoa. I mean, it's just mind blowing. Um, we're growing aeroponics. I don't know if I've yeah, that's cool, Kickstream. I don't know if I've had any if I've gotten any weed from that when that was growing aeroponics. I'm not sure. I don't. At least it wasn't labeled as such. But I would definitely love to get my hands on some of that. Um, yeah. Yeah, let me take a quick drink here, guys. All right. Yeah, I would definitely love to try some of that aeroponic weed. I bet you it's really dank. Yep. Yep, yep. All right. All right, guys, we'll continue here. So we've got leaf shape and posture. Leaves tell a story through shape. Clawing often indicates excessive nitrogen. Tacoing, or canoeing, when your leaves turn into a taco or canoeing, um, it could point to either heat stress or light stress. Um, Twisting, when your leaves twist, it could indicate an environmental swing. That means your environment's not quite dialed in. Um, and there's difference between underwatering and overwatering. There's stress like that your leaves will show. Um, and that can produce drooping your leaves. So if your leaves are drooping, it can either one, you underwatered, or you overwatered. Um, yeah, that's yeah, it's a catch-22 on that one because you've got to figure out which one is what, you know. But I guess you would just go to your soil and figure it out, you know, stick your finger in there, and if it's wet about 2 inches down, you probably, you know, if it's still soaking wet, you probably overwatered. But if you know you put your finger in and it's super dry, then you probably underwatered. Um, yeah, you know, it's definitely a science to watering. You gotta, and an art, definitely. You gotta, you know, there's people water different. People water differently. Everybody waters differently. I've seen it. I know it sounds so simple, and it's just like what? It's just water to a plant, you know. But everybody has their own quirky little way of doing it. Yeah. So okay, yeah, you know, definitely. I will definitely try the. I will definitely go down the aeroponics path, but but I wanna do it the right steps. You know, now that I'm doing DWC, I wanna. This is my first grow with DWC. I want to continue doing DWC and just get really better at it, dial it in, and once I have it dialed in, and I'm comfortable with growing DWC, I'm gonna start dabbing into aeroponics and trying that off. Yeah, I definitely. Yep, get me a little. Excuse me, get me a little system, it's a little aeroponic system, and just start growing some dank. You know, that would be really cool. Um, really cool. But I think it's just as hard, if not harder, uh, growing in DWC or sorry, in aeroponics than DWC. So I think that's another thing that I would have to keep in mind as well. You know, it's like, man, you know, and especially if I'm going to film this too. Um, I definitely want to educate everybody on my channel and stuff like that if I have problems, but I don't want to be that guy that just keeps growing sick plants either. You know, I want to grow some bangers too. You know, I want people to be like, wow, you know, look at that, that's beautiful, or you know, stuff like that. You know, I don't want to be the guy known for growing shitweed. You know, and I don't think anybody wants to be known for growing shitweed. Um, Everyone wants to, you know, be known for growing some pretty good dank. Yeah. Yep. As anyone who here struggles most with identifying overwatering versus underwatering? Let me know in chat. Have you guys had any issues with that? All right, I'm gonna take a little toke real quick, kick stream. Bear with me here. I'm gonna go silent here just for a second. All right. All right. All right. Then we got. So we covered a little bit about nitrogen deficiencies. You got your phosphorus, potassium, your calcium, your magnesium, your iron deficiencies. You know, there's a lot of deficiencies that can happen out there, and you know, and it's just it all depends. And like I said, it all depends on genetics too, you know, because some genetics you can be pretty stressed, you can be pretty rough with them in stress, and they'll make it. They'll they'll surprise you. You know, some genetics are really resilient, and you can like purposely mess up, and they'll still come out great, if not even better. Uh, I've seen it. I've seen it happen. Yeah, it's just all depends. All right. So so when I cut my leaf and I showed you guys, I don't know if you can see it right now off of the plant here, but I've got nutrient tip burns on there, but that's what they're portraying, nutrient tip burns. I know it's not because it's lime green at the top of the canopy, which means it's hungry. You know, it's super hungry. It doesn't have enough food. Now, if it was super dark green at the top, then I know that I had a crap load of food in there, a bunch of nitrogen in there. and I'd have to back off. Um, so so yeah, so this is mimicking nutrient. The tips are mimicking nutrient burn, but it's not. Um, it's not. I've even added more food to it. It's been guzzling down every day, just fine. It's been munching a lot of food. So I'm excited. That means she's still going strong. That tells me eating my. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, really? I didn't know. Wow, possums really? I didn't know they like cannabis. Huh. That's interesting. Hey, I wonder if even getting like a spice, something like a cayenne pepper or paprika, something like that, and just sprinkling it, maybe sprinkling it on your plants. I think that might, maybe not if it's in flower. But the question is, the possum doing it during veg, or is it doing it at any time of the plant's life? Or is it just happening during veg? Is it just eating the green leaves off of it, or is it actually going for the buds? I'm curious. Yeah, let me know if it's if they're doing that. Really? Wow. Wow, down to the stock, huh? So I wonder if they're getting stoned off of it and they like that. This is interesting. They don't care, huh? Oh wow, and veg or in bud, huh? Okay. So they're doing it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, tomatoes, nightshades. I know they possums sometimes will go for tomato here and there. That's true. Wow. But wow. So wow, that's crazy. I just learned. Well, thank you. I've just learned something, man. I didn't know possums, went after cannabis plants like that. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. Let's see. Yeah. Let's you got on the plant here, you got environmental stress. Um let's see, they broke into my veg garden the other week and just oh no. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, if they got into my garden, I'd be super bummed out. Yeah, cause I've got a little garden myself that I grow. I still have all my plants are still babies right now. I gotta transplant them outside, but yeah, definitely I got carrots and I got squash. Got some lavender. I've got some beans growing, some watermelon. Yeah, stuff like that. But yeah, oh man, I've got prairie dogs where I'm at, and these assholes, man, they love to eat shit from the garden too. So I'm constantly trying to battle those little assholes. Um, yeah, they're a nuisance too where I'm at. So I can relate. I can relate definitely. Okay, all right. All right, and then let's so how to diagnose correctly. So we're going to talk about how to diagnose a cannabis plant correctly. Uh, the first thing you want to do, as how I mentioned before, is you want to observe the whole plant. Just look at the whole plant over, um, from top to bottom. Look it all over. Get a good view of everything. move branches around, try to check the middle, stuff like that. The next step would be determining where your symptoms started. So, look, if it's like mid-level, and all of a sudden you start to see green, 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 and then mid-level it starts to go yellowish, yellowish, then, right in between there is when it started to change, and then you can look to see more or less where it started. And then review your recent changes, and maybe if you have a grow log, and you keep a grow log every day. Usually I do. I keep a grow log myself, and I write down stuff if I've noticed things, or if I've noticed different things, or the plant really liked something, or it really didn't like something. I'll keep a journal, a log for that. You can always do that. And then number 4, you want to check your pH. Yeah, make sure your pH is in range. Got to check that pH. 5 would be, check your environment. Do you have your environment dialed in? Is your RH, your humidity, is it going? You got your fans going? How's your tent? Is it really, how are your lights? Is your light good distance from your plant? Is it too hot in your tent? Is it too cold in your tent? Stuff like that. Just check your environment, go over everything. And when you do make changes, make one change at a time. So do one thing, give it a while, either, give it a good 8 hours or so in a day, and then look to see if it changed anything. And if not, then do something again, do something else. But just make one change at a time. That will definitely, that would help. Because if you do too many things at once, guys, you don't know. All of a sudden you can just send it into a nutrient lockout, and then there goes that. Then your plant starts to die and it sucks. And we don't want that. So, yeah. And then, avoid panicking and avoid making multiple changes simultaneously. Um, you know, just, just, just these 6 things. Observe the plant, determine where the symptoms started, review your recent changes, check your pH, check your environment, and make one change at a time. And if you do that, that is the proper way to diagnose your plant. These are the steps that you would take. Definitely. All right. Let's see here. All right, let's see. Where are we? All right. Hey, kids, is it just you in here, Kickstream? No, actually. Never found any seeds in my autoflower buds. Not one. At least not one that I grew. Okay. All right. Well, I'm feeling super generous, Kickstream. Since you're the only one, man, I'm gonna go ahead. You're gonna be the winner. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and send you. I'm gonna send you a Ruderalis Rex pack, and then a rolling tin with the magnetic lid. And then I'll show you real quick what it looks like here. All right, there's the Ruderalis Rex pack. Comes with a lighter holder, wristband. You got 6 magic beans right there behind. Comes with a few stickers, and then comes with my Ruderalis Rex sticker right there. And then we got this rolling tin right here, this rolling tray, and it comes with the magnetic headspace lid. Goes right on top. Cool rolling tray. Yep. Heck yeah, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming out, man. I'm gonna send that to you. Yep. So you got that. That'll all come together. So you got your tin. You got the magnetic lid. You got the Ruderalis Rex pack that comes with some stickers. It comes with my logo sticker, and then it comes, got some wristband, a lighter holder, and then 6 magic beans. And it's totally, it's legal where you're at, right? Like you could receive them, can't you? I know Canada can. I'm not sure about Australia. All right. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and write my email again. Um, Take my email down, and then as soon as we're done, as soon as I'm done with this live here in about the next 5 minutes or so, go ahead and email me where to send it to, and then I'll send it to you, and then I'll get a photo of the tracking number, and then I'll send all that to you in an email and let you know. So just so once you send me your address and stuff like that, after that, keep tabs on your email and stuff like that, because you'll get another email from me, showing the tracking number and stuff like that, and then you can track it yourself and see where it's at. All right. Well, cool. Well, you don't have to order anything right now, man. At least not the well, at least not the seed part. I got the magic beans covered for you there. There's 6 of them. Now they are regular, so I'm just gonna let you know that right now. They are regular. They could be either male and female. But well, you got some females in there. So, oh no, yeah, nope. You're good. Kickstream, you're good, man. Yeah, yeah. Kickstreamer, you're good, man. You don't. Nope. I don't need anything. Um, that's one thing. So one thing about my YouTube channel too, man, is I don't everything is only on giveaways. So I don't give away anything in comments. Um, and I don't ask for any money. I ask for zero. I don't ask anybody for anything. No money is required. Um, I just appreciate, just come and check out my YouTube channel, subscribe, like my videos. That's all I ask. Um, and yeah, and I go live every Thursday. Let's see what I got, some Northern Lights on the way. Yeah, awesome. Oh man, you picked a good one too. Northern Lights is some really good stuff, man. I want to get my hands on that, but an auto. Um, Definitely. Yeah, definitely a good one. Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, cool. Yeah, I do. Yep, I do a stream. I'm live every Thursday at 7 Mountain Standard Time. Yep, every single Thursday. Except last Thursday, I missed last Thursday. I had to cancel. My wife was too sick. Um, but but I'm back in it now. We're good. Everything's fine. I can continue to do my live streams every Thursday, and I pick different topics to go over and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely like to do a lot of teaching, a lot of education and stuff like that on my lives and stuff, and then just be down to earth and talk, to live chat, talk to you guys out there and stuff like that. I enjoy it. Um, $16 a seed. Where? Oh wow. That's really expensive. For for an auto. Well, not really. I mean, I guess that's the average. I was gonna say maybe, like $10 to me would have been more reasonable, but now that I think about it, I think you can't really find it anywhere for $10. I think it's like 15 or something like that is the lowest I think I've seen a Northern Lights auto now that I'm thinking about it. Um, but yeah, Yeah, but I'm stoked, man. You got Northern Lights. Heck yeah, man. You're gonna have fun with that one. I'm not. If you've grown it already, well then you already know. Um, but definitely that's a great strain. A lovely strain. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Okay, well, I think that's gonna wrap it up here on my live stream. I'm gonna go ahead and get off. Um, Australian owned company. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I'm talking on apricot scone. Yeah, it's called apricot scone, and the people who these genetics come from, they're called Free World Genetics. So it's from Free World Genetics, and it's called apricot scone, and it is delicious. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, heck yeah, yeah. Come join next Thursday. I might have another giveaway. We'll see. You know, we'll see who shows up or who doesn't, or if I'm feeling, if I'm feeling generous. Um, but definitely, yeah, definitely come see me next Thursday on my live. Come tune in, and for sure. All right, Kickstream. I'm gonna go ahead and get off. Hey, so don't forget, email me. You got my email? Do you need my email one more time? Let me know before I hop off here. If you need my email one more time. It's just Ruderalis Rex 420 at Gmail. So it's pretty simple email you can remember. Just the name of Okay, cool. All right, yep. All right, Kickstream. You have a good evening. Definitely tune in. Tune in next Thursday. I'll have some other fun topics and stuff like that to go over, and maybe another giveaway. So yeah. Alrighty. You definitely have a good night. As always, much love, Gromies.